Severe weather hitting the upper North Island and heavy rain expected for the South Island is not the early summer conditions most of us want for Christmas. Dave Stewart from RainEffects joins me tonight to talk about the changeable weather situation. Good evening, Dave. Now, Auckland has suffered terribly with a tornado today. It's resulted in 3 deaths. What kind of conditions need to exist for a tornado?
Well, you've got to have the heat, so you get the uplift. And they've been hammered with the heat that's actually come over from Queensland, and that they're having a bit of a heat wave over there, and some of that has been brought into the weather system, which causes more uplift, which gives more thunderstorms, and it leads to the instability that causes these funnel clouds to develop. And if they touch, they're okay if they stay up in the sky, but if they touch the ground, they're not so good. They do see quite a few of them as water spouts out to sea, but they're normally disappeared by the time they get close to the coast. But in this case, yeah, that's basically what it is. It's just all the heat that they get up there.
Could those kinds of conditions ever happen here?
I wouldn't say that could never happen here, but they're extremely unlikely. It's like we don't get tropical cyclones and things like that, whereas they do up there. It's just cooler as they head further south. It gets cooler, and they lose some of their energy, so they downgrade from the particularly severe storm to just a severe storm, and so you lose the particular energy you need to make things like tornadoes and that sort of thing.
Now, there's some heavy rain expected for this area in the next 24 hours. Is it likely to cause flooding?
Probably unlikely to cause much flooding. It just depends. It's one of these easterlies coming, and the rain will mainly dump on the hills around Dunedin, maybe get inland as far as Deep Stream and places like that. So we could see the Taieri and Deep Stream rise, the Leith, the Silver Stream, those sorts of things come up. If there's a lot of debris lying in gutters, then we could see some local surface flooding from it. Rainfall intensity is not normally that high with these easterlies. They're just persistent rain, and we can just have the 5 or 6 millimetres an hour persistently, and that's very boring, and but it's very, very wetting as well. So we could see some localised flooding. I don't think the storm is big enough and is going to hang around long enough for it to cause any great difficulties. I think the farmers will be pleased though, because things have dried out quite a lot. While we had close to average or just below average rainfall for last month, we also had a lot of wind, and the ground has dried out quite a lot, and farmers have been telling me that growth has slowed a bit and they could do with some rain. Probably not as much as we're about to get if the weather forecast is correct, but certainly the rain will be welcome to them.
Has the weather gone mad, or is this quite typical?
The weather's gone mad. I think the spring that we've just had would be the worst, or close to the worst I can ever remember. It was a miserable spring. It was more like winter, and we would like to think that we'll jump into summer sometime soon. No guarantees. I see one of the weather forecasters is saying that we could continue with the same sort of lousy stuff we've had, where we get little fronts flicking through with southwesterlies and cooler conditions. We'd like to think that isn't going to be the case, but it's kind of shaping up that way. However, we should see a change in patterns at some stage, so maybe we'll get some summer in January and February.
Oh, I was kind of hoping for a bit better news there, Dave, to be honest.
So was I.
Yeah. So what are you expecting Santa to bring you this Christmas?
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm looking forward to surprises.
New crystal ball, perhaps?
Yes, better than the old one. It doesn't seem to be doing too well, does it?
RainEffects hydrologist Dave Stewart, thanks so much for your time.
My pleasure.